The Jacks go home with the win against Lincoln University and hope to continue their momentum going into the next matchup of their season-long homestand. Not only does Coach Norwood believe his team will shine on the hardwood, but they'll also excel in the classroom. Not only are the Lady Jacks excited to dust off their sneakers and hit the hardwood, they're excited to see these stands filled up. Meanwhile, the CR men's team is seeing success early on this season as well. In fact, the first CCC MBCA coaches poll came out today. The College of the Redwoods men's soccer team is heading into the home stretch facing Mendocino College. We have a lot to talk about today, so let's just get right to it. We'll start by breaking down the latest NCS soccer action. Most recently, Fortuna taking on St. Helena in Division I boys soccer. Both HSU teams were in action last night, facing off against San Francisco State. We'll start with the women's team with the early game. They're looking for their second win of the season and their second in a row. Now, the Gators are entering this match with a dominant win against Cal State Monterey Bay, looking to continue their win streak. And the first half of play was a nail-biter as HSU goes into the second half with a 19-17 lead. But it's the Gators opening up play in the third quarter with a layup by Maya Blake to tie the ballgame at 19 apiece. San Francisco would continue to increase their lead, shooting lights out from beyond the arc, going 6 of 7, eventually leading the quarter with a 9-point lead. Gators lead 44-35. SF State continued to lead for most of the fourth, but the Lumberjacks chopped down the lead, including a triple by Ashley Peralta to put the Jacks within 1. Eventually reclaiming the lead thanks to a layup by Madison Perry, HSU leads 51-50 with 2.5 minutes on the clock. The Jacks will go on to win this one. Final score, Lumberjacks 58, Gators 56. Another busy weekend for North Coast teams, starting with the NCS Division V Finals. Del Norte found themselves in the championship. Let's go to Marin County for the highlights. Novato, home of San Marin. Now, Del Norte comes into the Mustang territory as the 2 seed, the underdog in this matchup, while San Marin is number 1. And there's Del Norte faithful making the trek to watch their Warriors, and Del Norte tries to set the tone early with a game-opening onside kick, and after halting San Marin, they turn to the run game as R.J. Lofton powers his way up the left side. He's met by a herd of Mustangs and forced out of bounds, but San Marin has a strong run game of their own. Joey Cook under center for the Mustang. He takes the snap, hands it off to Justin Gwynn, and is off to the races. Gwynn had 149 yards rushing off of 16 carries, and here's why. Touchdown Mustangs as San Marin goes up 6-0. Del Norte tries to respond, turning to Caleb Dotson. He's able to get a few good looks, but ultimately it's San Marin stifling the Del Norte offense. On the other side of the ball, San Marin comes alive as they go up big. Justin Gwynn records another 2 touchdowns for a total of 3 on the night, and just like that, the Mustangs pull ahead 36-0 after 3, and that would be the final. A quiet fourth quarter for both teams as the Mustangs are crowned Division V NCS champs. Del Norte receives their second-place medals and pennants after a truly impressive season. They finished with a final record of 10-2. The Wolves are coming into this matchup with a 1-3 record. Meanwhile, the Jacks are looking for their 4th straight win of the season. HSU with another strong start in the first half. They jump out to an early 5-point lead. Will Johnson leading the way with 2 solid jumpers, and the Jacks lead 7-2. But the Wolves aren't going anywhere. Western Oregon manages to take a 1-point lead with this triple by Antonio Salinas. The Wolves are up 10-9. It would be a back-and-forth affair in the first half from here on, a 3-point shootout as both teams shoot over 60% from beyond the arc in the first half. And the first 20 minutes of play would end with a 40-40 draw. Now, the Huskies come in at 18-0, fresh off a 7-2 win over number 8, the Bay School, meeting the Saints in the semifinals. St. Helena is the 5 seed coming off an upset of Cloverdale in the second round. Now, defense plays a key role in this one as Fortuna has quite a few good looks on offense but are unable to connect. Antonio Garcinuno with a pair of crosses here, neither find the back of the net. Justin Lopez, goalie for the Saints, he had a strong presence, corralling quite a few shots. Meanwhile, the Huskies defense had St. Helena on lockdown. They remain scoreless at halftime. But it's the Huskies who break the 0-0 tie, netting the game winner late in the second half, which means, thanks to the 1-0 victory, Fortuna is headed to the finals. They will square off against Making Waves Academy in the championship, number 1 versus number 2. That matchup is set up for Saturday at 7 p.m. at Fortuna High School. The Lumberjacks are getting ready to get back on the court and compete in a full season after only competing in 9 games last season due to the pandemic.
It's very exciting, especially last year. We pretty much had all away games, so Didn't really have a chance to see, no fans or no crowd here.
And like the women's team, the men's team has a completely new roster from top to bottom.
We got a ton of talent, but a lot of depth.
This year's team, led by second-year coach Tay Norwood, is going to play a run-and-gun style of basketball, and the roster reflects just that.
We filled this roster out with big wings. Our wings go 6'5", 6'6" across the board, and athletic bigs, 6'11", 6'10", 6'9" across the front line, and guards who really like to get after it full court, 94 feet.
Coach Norwood believes that he, along with his staff, have assembled a team that is ready to take on a very tough CCAA conference.
Throughout that recruiting process, when we were trying to find prospects, we wanted to find guys that had great motors, that played with tons of energy, that were coachable, that were selfless.
Not only does Coach Norwood believe his team will shine on the hardwood, but will also excel in the classroom.
Last year, we had a 3.39 cumulative GPA, tops best GPA in the last decade here. So that's a tremendous attribute to what the young men did inside the classroom. And we're looking to build upon that success this upcoming semester.
The Jacks will begin their season on the road in Carson on November 12th and 13th as they face Western Washington and Simon Fraser. Then they will make their way home on November 20th to host Lincoln University, led by former NBA All-Star Gary Payton. And they will end non-conference play against Dominican University at home.
We're looking to hopefully play these non-conference games to help build on the season. We're playing a gauntlet of a conference. The CCAA from top to bottom is a dogfight every night. There's no gimmies on your schedule.
Reporting from Lumberjack Arena, Hector Mendoza, Redwood News. Lumberjack basketball was back on the North Coast this past weekend, and the roar of its fans filled the arena, and they were in for an intense matchup. Lincoln University, led by NBA Hall of Famer Gary Payton, make the trek up to the Redwoods, looking to make a name for themselves. Meanwhile, the home team, led by Tay Norwood, hoping to continue their winning ways and make it 3-0 on the season. And Humboldt State doesn't waste any time and puts on a clinic from three, including this triple from Thomas Nelson to lead 18-6. The Jacks continue to dominate on offense, eventually taking a 17-point lead with 7 minutes to go in the first half. But here come the Oaklanders. They start to get it going and would slowly chip at the lead, going on a 25-8 run to take a 40-38 lead going into the second half.
We had the crowd quiet. We had them quiet for a long period of time.
But not for long. HSU and Lincoln go back and forth in the second half. Lincoln goes on a 12-4 run. The Jacks follow that run with a 12-3 run of their own with 7.5 minutes left. The Oaklanders would go on one last charge to go up by 7, 76-69. But it would be the last 2 minutes of the game that would decide the winner, thanks to a couple of crucial plays down the stretch by A.J. Sims.
AJ picked up 2 big-time charges on the defensive end in that last 4-minute stanza to give us back the ball, to put us in position to win a game.
The Lumberjacks would go on to win 81-78 to go 3-0 for the season. The Jacks go home with the win against Lincoln University and hope to continue their momentum going into the next matchup of their season-long homestand. Reporting from Lumberjack Arena, Hector Mendoza, Redwood News.